And we're live. Hey, Bricks Mortar Retailers, welcome to this week's training. And it is a follow-on from what we talked about last week, which was all about having a mission for your store. And one of the main issues that we have in trying to grow our business and leverage ourselves out of the day-to-day is the fact that we have a team, and this team is not being utilized to its full capacity to grow our business. So today we're talking about employee engagement, and I am going to walk you through what I call my engagement blueprint. It's a direct follow-on from understanding your mission and creating your mission within your store. So just like always, there is a worksheet. And if you want a copy of the worksheet, just put the word worksheet below. And before I start, I just wanted to make sure if you can write in the comments, did you end up writing your mission statement for your store? Just a yes or a no in the comment section down below. I'm super keen to understand what kind of impact or what it had. If it did have an impact, please put that into the comment section below. And so today I'll run you through this engagement blueprint, which is my strategy on how to really create and how to continue to drive your team forward so that you can do all the things that you want to do. This is I guess a bolt-on to one of the other presentations I've done called Creating a Rockstar Team. So please, if you haven't seen that training, make sure you do a search, or in fact, I might link it down below. And yeah, it's a really good training that also complements this engagement blueprint very, very well. So let's get started. So the main problem that we experience as bricks and mortar retailers is the fact that, we have a team. Many of us have a team that has, unfortunately, a high turnover. And having a high turnover team means that you're constantly training, you're constantly hiring. There's a whole heap of costs associated with that, not to mention the interruption in your service that you're providing to your clients and disruption in the whole operating of your store, right? Then hopefully, but what I see more often than not is you as the owner end up working more in the business and it becomes an absolute shit show. And so the other problem that we have is inconsistent service. I know this doesn't happen in your store, but I'm sure you've walked into other stores before and you've gone to one location, received some amazing service, or perhaps you've gone back to the same store a couple of days or weeks later, or you've been to another branch of the store and there's inconsistent service, right? And so that's a really great way to damage your reputation in the marketplace. The other thing that we have to contend with, and you're probably contending with, is low motivation. Many of us hire juniors, nothing wrong with that. Many of us hire people, we find people that come and work for our stores because they're sort of just starting out their career. Nothing wrong with that either. But these people, they just lack a sense of mission, a little bit of purpose and drive in the business. And these are all the problems that many of us experience within our stores. Why does this happen? Okay, it's super easy to blame it on the demographic that we are hiring. And yeah, I hear you. You're probably saying, okay, I'm hiring. No, I'm just a little high street store. I'm just hiring people and I'm happy with school kids, or I'm happy with, people straight from university. But actually that shouldn't really be the case, right? The cause of it is due to the fact that you haven't got your business set up properly. So let's just talk about the elephant in the room. So you've got unclear communication and your team members don't really understand your company mission. Remember, we did this last week or a couple of weeks ago, and they don't really know about it because you haven't communicated with them. Your employees are not feeling recognized. You've got no recognition system in place, nothing to provide feedback. We all know that we need to do it, but very few of us do. And also, a lot of employees feel stuck in their role. So I know what you're going to tell me, Alvin. Well, this is just a part-time position, or I know they're only going to be with me temporarily. But in all of these situations, for all of these team members, you need to provide some sort of opportunity for growth. Now, it doesn't have to be like you're going to promote them up to a retail manager level, but you need to show them what they can achieve if they start to do their work correctly, help the customers correctly. And it's just incremental things that you can give them extra responsibility to do. And the great thing is, you as a retail store owner, you've got a shit ton of things that you need to do. And this is a great way to start to offload it to other team members within your store. So you need to be able to provide some sort of pathway to show your team members who are working with you and for you on what they can achieve whilst hanging out within your store and working for you. So the impact, if you get this right, I'm going to start from the bottom, right, and work our way to the top of the pyramid here, but you are going to have reduced staff turnover. And as you know, it's the same thing with customers, right? It's so much easier to retain your existing and good customers than it is to go out and find new ones. And it's the same thing with staff, because as you know, there's a whole heap of costs associated with hiring new staff, not only doing the advertising, but also then looking at all the training that hopefully you're doing. So yeah, the next thing, you're going to have engaged employees. This is part of the creating a rockstar team that I was talking about. If you want a copy of that training, just put rockstar down the bottom and we'll make sure we get it out to you. But you're going to have far more engaged employees and you're going to have greater productivity. You're going to create a really, really good vibe in your store. It's going to lead to a thriving and motivated team. The other impact is you're going to have happy customers, right? Improved customer service, improved loyalty. You're going to have much better repeat business. Your average dollar sale is going to go up. It's just going to be amazing. And of course, that is also going to lead to a strong brand. If you're a retailer, bricks and mortar in your high street, having a strong brand is so important, because you actually have this ability to create this reputation, the relationship with the community around you. And this is where many of us retailers are falling short. And you get to be known as the best store in whichever target market that you are servicing within your community, and you'll be known as the number one. And this is what you need to work towards. And of course, ultimately, it leads to increased profits, right? So you're going to have reduced costs, increased sales, much greater efficiency. Your profit's going to go up, your cash flow is going to go up. Then you can start to work on spending less time in the business, working in the business, and then you can start working on the business to fuel your growth plans. And then after that, you can leverage yourself out slowly. So that's the impact of getting it right. And it's super, super important, right? This is why we all need to be doing it. So there's a couple of things that we need to do, and I'll run through them very, very briefly in no great detail. So the first thing is you need to make sure that you have your mission statement all sorted, and then you effectively communicate that mission statement to your team members. Because let's think about it. If your team members don't know what you're trying to achieve in the marketplace, how can they connect it to what they're meant to do on a daily level in store? How can they connect your mission to how they contribute to your store, how they serve your customers? It's so important. And you need to have this communication, this clear communication, as part of your hiring process, as part of your induction process, as part of your ongoing team communication, right? As part of, it's good to review quarterly during your team meetings and team trainings and team collaboration sessions. And hopefully you are doing all of those, because that's it's one of the steps to creating a fully engaged team. The other thing is a recognition program. So, we need to implement some sort of system that rewards behavior. So something that we do with my clients is we create a 90-day plan. Within those 90-day plans, there are effectively 3 things that we're going to be working on. We set some 3 KPIs. And, and these KPIs are communicated to the whole team. And typically there's going to be a prize for the team member that achieves the best result. Like whoever sold the most amount of X, for instance, if you've got a wine store and we're trying to promote a particular brand or a particular wine, who sold the most that month based on the hours worked, or who did the most, best this or best that. But you need some sort of recognition program, right? And it can be really simple. McDonald's do this very well. Even a simple employee of the month, a simple $10 voucher, a movie voucher, something very, very simple to recognize the effort that your team are putting into the business. The third thing, one of the other things that you need to do to create an engaged team is a developmental plan. Now, that's a fancy way of saying just to do like reviews, quarterly reviews. I can't believe how many of you are not doing them, and you're missing out. Like, you just need to schedule it in and have a review with them one-on-one, understand how they're going. Of course, eventually you want to pass this off to your retail managers, and your retail managers must be doing this. But it's a great way to receive feedback. Not only will part of the review process should give you some ideas on how you can continue to grow your store, feedback from your employees, but also if the feedback works the other way as well. It's such an amazing way to foster talent. And I think the big mistake that we make as retailers is that we kind of overcomplicate the process and we don't think it's necessary. But really, just schedule it, get really simple with how you conduct these reviews and do a developmental plan. There are so many templates available. Obviously, if we work together, I'll give you the templates that I use. So yeah, that's what you need to do. So the other thing is we need to build a feedback culture, right? So we really need to collect feedback from what is happening on our floor, on our retail floor. So why is this important? So because typically and hopefully your team members are your sort of frontline soldiers. They're the people, they're the team members that are dealing with your customers on a daily basis. They see stuff, they are putting away the order, receiving invoices, putting up the ticketing, selling, all those kind of things. As part of the employee engagement thing, as part of hearing your employees and making sure that your employees are being heard, you need to implement some sort of system of feedback and suggestions. And you need to take it seriously. You can't just have some sort of suggestion box in the corner of the staff room and kind of go ad hoc, but you need to implement this system as part of your culture within the store. And a really great example of how I used to do it, how I recommend my clients do it, is you make this as part of your regular team meetings, something that you either ask people to put their hand up or you have some sort of collection system for feedback, but super important. And that's what you need to do. The other scary thing to talk about is, as retailers, we are really scared about hiring. And I've spoken about hiring at length. And the way to build an engaged team is to make sure that you're hiring the right people that are aligned with your business, right? And that only happens really after you've done your mission statement. So I'd love to know, yes or no, have you done your mission statement? Please let me know below. So once you have your mission statement, then it's imperative that you use it as part of your hiring process. So then what do I mean by that? When you are hiring people, you need to make sure that you tell people about your mission. So from the very beginning, like, hey, this is what we are trying to achieve, and give that person the opportunity to opt out if they don't align with your mission. So the thing is, you need to understand your values. I've spoken about this as well. So the values of the store, the values of you yourself, and make sure that they align with what you're doing, because the last thing you want is some rogue behavior that doesn't align with your values as a retail store owner and your values within the store. So you want to make sure that you've got this good complement of people happening. And training, I've spoken about it. Team training needs to be based on your mission and what you're trying to achieve. So hopefully that makes sense. And you need to make sure that you have regular training programs. All of those things need to be really put into place. So it's time to land the ship. So if you get this mission-driven team, you are going to be not only an advocate for your business in the community, because your team members will be talking about it, but you're going to drive customer loyalty, you're going to drive customer success, and it's so important. So here's what you need to do. The next thing is you need to assess your current employee engagement level. So this is some homework that you need to do. Really figure out what's happening and identify areas for improvement. Write that down. Communicate your mission to your team, and then implement a strategy for engaging them. And if you do all of those things, right, you start that process step by step, break it down, chunk it down. Not only will that, as I mentioned, allow you to have increased profitability, you are also going to have increased cash flow. Your team's just going to get so much better. And the main thing for me is that you are going to you're going to be on the path to create much more freedom in your life from your store. So I hope you found that useful. If you need some help with this stuff, please make sure you reach out and send me a message, or write the word help below. And as always, if you want to copy the worksheet, just pop the word worksheet. And until next time, catch you later.